is ready. Let's see what battleground we're going to end up on. Potentially the last game. Team Dignitas, they're like, nope, we're looking for game 5 too, and they're going to pick Cursed Hollow. They want to get their macro pressure. They want to potentially go for the globals. They have to be feeling really confident about this game after having that explosive a team fight in this game.
All right, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's bring it. Seriously, like great games. Loving it. The first two were already fantastic. That was just Leftovers playing so well. They continue that into game 3, and then the Dignitas saying like, boys, we are undefeated for a reason. Even if we go down today, we're not going to 3-0 us. That's just not going to happen. That's ridiculous on the face of it. So we're going to win this map right now. We need one chance, and if you give us that one chance, it's over.
I'm pretty sure Pepper's glad they stayed up for this. You want to tell your friends and family to get in to watch the rest of this series, because this is high-level competitive Heroes of the Storm at its finest. This is what I'd hoped for at the Western Clash Finals. Leftovers, they've definitely improved as a team, and they're up 2-1 to show for it.
This is Europe, baby. Abatha. All right, banned out again. Leftovers, not risking anything here. Curse Hollow. Let's run this. So far, Diablo was a staple in the bans. Genji also oftentimes eliminated. Both of them. Genji, every time we're seeing Dignitas ban out Genji. Every time we're seeing Leftovers ban out Tyrande right now. They are heavily relying on that Decade Pain here. There's the Diablo ban again, so the stage is already set. Eliminate a few of the power picks, but that leaves Urel. Urel's still open. She was first pick so far in every single game.
You know, I think
outside of the ban.
Because wasn't Urel taken away from Wolby last game too?
Ban, yeah.
I think that was the poke. I think because Wolby's gotten Urel so much over the course of this phase. I remember asking him, I was like, how did you manage to get this so much? He's like, I don't know. Yeah. So you take that away from me, he's like, all right, guys, you might be up 2-0, but you're going to take Urel away from me too? He had enough.
He got Urel in game 2, but he still lost. So, yeah, it's his best hero. You have to control Urel to an extent. That's why Leftovers banned it in game number 3. But now they're even valuing Hanzo more because of the double boss potential that you have on the map and his fantastic wave clear. And let's not forget that we even had a bit of more auto attack focus on Hanzo. But it's Medivh again. They're throwing that out once more. The hero was banned out so much recently, especially at the Western Clash, ban after ban against him. And now people have started to ignore him more and more. And Snitch is just saying like, yeah, I'll show you again why that hero was banned out all the time.
Urel Decker Kane shows up, but what we're seeing right now, Caldor, is the ripple effect of what a patch change can do. Last week, that would have been a Medivh ban instead of Tyrande. By the Leftovers not feeling 100% on a Tyrande, they feel like they need to ban that out because that was such a strong counter to them earlier this weekend, and that allows what was such a huge advantage for Team Dignitas to go through again. Garrosh Medivh paved the way for them to be able to talk about game number 4 at all, and they got those 2 heroes again.
What's going to be the Tracer ban again?
DAV's like, yeah, I get it. Even I get it.
Leaves him with Phoenix, leaves him with, I mean, we've seen him on Phoenix and Gul'dan, we have seen him on Li Ming. There's an abundance of heroes that he can still play. Reyna too, but still, he's the only one that continuously draws these Tracer bans, and there's a very good reason for that. Dealing with that guy is just so tough.
Sergeant Hammer's not going to get dealt with either this game outside of a second round ban by the Leftovers. 2 heroes now to select for Team Dignitas. They could try to hang on to their support pick towards the back end if they see enough of a priority there. But they do have a lot of options. Medivh opens up their potential support synergies and just other avenues as far as solo laners a lot just by that added sustain.
Yeah, solo lane is something you can hold back for later if you want to, but there's the Dehaka with the global and Karazim.
Do it for Baker. 2 heroes now to select for Leftovers. They see what they're dealing with. The throws had an impact. Leyline Seal, understatement of the series, also had a measurable impact. Karazim, something of an interesting choice. 7-sided strike, 49% of your health bar. Potentially you get caught out of position. That's going to wake the front line up all the time.
ETC and Maiev. Maiev keeps getting through here, even through the 3rd ban. Alright, bring the last pick.
What's it to be? Phoenix looked pretty solid last game for Team Dignitas.
Give me a Cassia Valkyrie into a 7-sided. That would be the dream. Unlikely, but actually we have seen it in the past. I don't really think it's really going to happen in such a setup, but that was always, when it actually came through once, that was fun. But it's the Gul'dan that comes in here. That makes a lot more sense, can follow up on a lot of the plays here.
I'm not discounting anything at this point, Caldor.
I mean,
Because I was like, main tank Zul against a team like Team Dignitas? Unlikely. Here we are.
Yeah.
There we were.
all right, 2-1. Cursed Hollow, 1 global. That's the one thing that worries me probably the most, that there's a global hero on the side of Dignitas, so they control that aspect of the game. If they ever get a hat, that is going to be difficult to deal with. But in ETC at the front line, last time that Mopsio played him, he actually did extremely well with it. So was pretty happy with his own performance there. ETC has his troubles, as we said, but you have that Urel with him now. As we mentioned before, either Blaze or Urel are good to mix with ETC, so he has a bit more survivability. The extra armor is going to help him here. Definitely something that can work out. Good zone control. I'm interested to see if... I mean, I would expect that Hanzo goes into the more normal build here, trying to race down the bosses, but...
Especially for this map.
I love the way that he adjusted on Volskaya. That was actually fantastic to see. With the redemption on level 1, it was pretty cool. And then level 7, of course.
I mean, the damage was through the roof for him last time when he went with that build, but Cursed Hollow definitely warrants a different style. You have to consider that. But one thing I'm concerned about for Leftovers is Team Dignitas has so much disruption. We saw what a Leyline Seal can do. You follow it up with a Horrify. Things like that. That's all the time and the need for Gul'dan to get that takedown. So we could be well on our way to talking about game number 5. We're about to find out. On the left side is Team Dignitas. Snitch is on Medivh. Poik is playing Gul'dan. Wolby's on Dahaka. JPL will be taunting again on Garrosh and Zelia. Throwing those punches with care.
And to the right, the Leftovers. Great game, but a loss on Towers of Doom. Linked this time finds himself in Deck Arcade again. Blick hit me on Maiev again. Boss on Urel, have seen that before. Mopsio on ETC and DAB on Hanzo. A lot of power picks here once more. Linked on Deckard, Maiev taken here. You have your Urel and then ETC at the front line. And I mean, that wasn't a forced ETC either. It wasn't that there were a lot of tanks banned out. Diablo was denied. Outside of that, the Garrosh pick, of course, notably on Dignitas' side, but we still could go into Muradin, you can still could go into Johanna, other options for them too. They decided that with ETC, they want to control that space and also save that backline a little bit. So let's see if Leftovers can edge out a victory here.
After Mopsio's performance earlier this weekend with ETC, I'm 100% sold on it. But granted, that was on Tomb of the Spider Queen, a much more forgiving battleground in some ways, in my opinion. The wave clear, the macro is definitely more pronounced in this battleground. We'll see how ETC handles that. Portal goes down, a lot of damage going on in JPL. Any other hero outside of Medivh, that might have been a take.
And Medivh is, of course, he is the game changer. He's really the hero. If you can control him, if you're able to have the portal control, then you're oftentimes in a spot where you have a good time. But if you have a great Medivh player on the other side that knows how to properly use his cooldowns and what to hold back, then it's always really difficult to get one of these kills. And of course, it allows your own heroes to be way more aggressive. We've seen that with Diablos in the past. They can aggressively dart in, play way more offensive than they usually would because they know there's a portal to save them. And in the case of Garrosh, you know that JPL is going to be looking for these engagements later again.
Just when you think you're safe, you're not safe. I mean, we could see a portal go past the wall, see Garrosh jump through there, throw someone back over the wall so the rest of the team get the kill, and then he jumps back through the portal like it's okay. But the first tribute is going to be in the top portion of the map, so with this siege camp picked up by the Leftovers, if left to its own devices, not likely to happen since there is the Haka down in the bottom portion of the map. That could be an advantage, but right now, Team Dignitas, they have a slight experience.
Dig was a bit slow to start in the series, for sure. A problem that they talked about in the past, and they basically eliminated that weakness, but it definitely showed up today. Right now, it feels like they are more in their own element, though. The last game had a couple of hiccups still, but when it really mattered, they were there, and they moved in mercilessly, not giving any quarter here. So let's see how this game is going to go for them. At this point, they have good pressure already set up. We're having a very early night camp here also taken from Leftovers, but Dignitas has already prepared their own. It's all in preparation for that first objective that is now starting to spawn at the top of the map.
From a personality perspective, this battleground, in my opinion, favors Team Dignitas, because what we're really witnessing here is a war of philosophies, where Team Dignitas is this analytical, quiet, well-mannered team in team fights. I was on stage at Western Clash, and I could hear Mopsio screaming as though he was standing right next to me in some of those team fights. So just a flat-out raw aggression is not something that you always see on Cursed Hollow. So this is a much more cerebral, particular style of battleground. Team Dignitas, they have to feel right at home.
Nice interrupt attempt there. Link had to move back. And again, guys, always when you play on the map, make sure that the support channels the tribute. Super important here. Zelia moving in aggressively through the portal, but gets cut off short. And even with Medivh, he might be falling here. And indeed, he goes down. That was great play by Leftovers. He moves in through the portal, and then Mopsio says, like, are you kidding me? I mean, you might be able to get away with a lot here, but you can't just go deep like this. So cuts him off, even with the shield coming out of Medivh. Just no way of saving him. Couldn't dart out. Zelia gets knocked down by Linked.
Jukes.
And that's the kill in the first tribute in favor of Leftovers.
I blinked, so I might have missed it, but I'm pretty sure the dash from Karazim went off and he got rooted anyway. So he just got planted there. You got to watch out for that. You can't overstate the value of the Medivh portal and shield shenanigans. Leftovers going to be able to capitalize on that almost every time. BAB helping the top lane get pushed in. Mopsio hanging out in the bush, but ganking a Medivh? Ambitious.
They're ganking Urel though. Boss is low, but very unlikely to fall here. Blakitny also coming in with a tether, but has still the vault of the Wardens up and can easily move away from that. Nice pressure at the bot lane though. I really like that Dignitas makes these plays because now they didn't get a kill, but they at least got those structures, and that of course yields quite a bit of experience by itself.
A side benefit of that is, let's say Leftovers didn't want to try to, match race for race and they keep those 3 people up top. Snitch loves that. He's like, I need all these Qs I can get, so just stand here and auto-attack these towers, guys. I'll just keep hitting the Q key. You're not going to kill me. So why not? I think that's a large part of why we saw Leftovers start to back away. They don't want to let them stack that up for free.
Talking free, that's a free tribute if I've ever seen one. JPL wanted to move in and interrupt it, but then he thought twice as he all of a sudden saw 2 heroes coming his way. Dignitas basically made this because, or let this happen because they were pushing on the bot lane, and they're going to get the support that gives them elite inexperience. And with an early grab on that, it's very likely that they're going to hit the early level 10, and that will allow them to at least get the next tribute without having a problem there. But we mentioned during the draft why Hanzo was actually picked this early, and it's just this race pressure that you have on bosses. And this is something that Leftovers uses immediately to get the boss a bit quicker than Dignitas would ever be able to.
Seeing high-level play here. Leftovers like, all right, they're going to take our bottom fort. Let's go for the boss. Snitch goes over on the bird, sees them doing that. He's like, all right, guys, you can go ahead and get this bottom boss for free. They have quicker race, sure, but they're not going to be able to get the boss and rotate down here in time. We can trade this out. We're even on experience, so the next tribute we very well could have level 10 by now. Let's go for this. It's fine. This boss that we get is going to go to the bottom keep it.
Yeah, and of course there is already a measured response at the bot lane. More heroes started to rotate down. I'm a bit surprised by the early capture on the Siege Giant camp. I actually thought that Maiev would hold that back a bit and then take it later so that it has more impact on the boss here. But haven't really done that. So right now they're defending with 3. But the tribute, the third one that spawns, they're gonna get at least that. So the boss moves through. The Siege Giants are like, all right, sayonara boys, we're off. And yeah, so they have to defend with the heroes here. It's not really a big problem, but I thought they would just time that a little bit differently. And that is one of those moments where you hope you're not going to get caught in camera. Wooby gets actually stunned by the boss stun and then immediately rooted as well. Happens to even to the best.
Then he drops the Genji spray. There's been some very interesting trades on the macro level for both of these teams. The boss actually is able to go to that top fort, so the structures are now even, and Leftovers are able to clear out the bottom boss without losing much of anything. I don't even think part of the wall went down there. And it's at the cost of a tribute, which isn't going to be a curse, which could happen for Leftovers now if they come away with the next one. So just very interesting back and forth trades here.
Now what you have to be careful of if you are Leftovers is that you're getting thrown into a 7-sided strike. So that isolation that Garrosh can provide and then the follow-up is very dangerous to them. We also have Mosh Pit taken. Mopsio already going in saying like, thanks boys, but the Horrify, Poig using it and still not able to secure it right away.
That is big. Leyline Seal goes out, 7-sided strike onto Urel's face, forces out. The Mosh Pit is gonna go in. Let's dance, baby. A huge sleep afterwards. Stay a while and listen. Is that going to be enough? Golden gets exploded. Boss on the retreat, portals down. Team Dignitas loses 1 hero. They use Horrify, it didn't pay off for them.
That's a
huge
curse.
play that. Huge play there by Leftovers.
And that's the curse right there. So that was an interesting one. They couldn't have gotten the camp too, but they decided to just like go for that mosh pit engage. That was a pretty big one. getting the kill and now the curse, they just have to make sure that they're getting value out of that. But a great mosh pit, and you don't want to necessarily fight in that choke point. The funny part was that originally when the Horrify and everything came in and someone gets pushed off the point, that's when the 7-sided comes through, and all of a sudden, instead of capping the Night Camp, we're seeing Zelia just not giving it up, but losing out on that. I feel if Leftovers actually channel that through, that Spell Aura is going to be a game changer. A game changer is also the kill against Gul'dan, and that's going to do even more work now here in the middle.
Mopsio continue to help set up plays, power slides out, containment disc on 1-0. That's going to be the third takedown for Leftovers, who are enjoying a free bottom fort. They go through the middle one. The top boss got ticked the top fort down earlier. So with a tier advantage and a level and some change lead, Leftovers look to be pretty well in control.
This is a moment where I would have loved for the Leftovers to not attack the fort. Instead, just go straight for the keep walls. Open the small walls if you're getting thrown over by Garrosh, as there's still a 5 versus 4. That if Garrosh throws you can follow it up. But the fort falls anyways. Your minions will take the fort down. If you're committing with a 5-man and your opponent still has 4 and you also have a talent advantage, you can go straight for the keep wall and maybe even a bit more, because there's nothing that can happen. The fort behind you falls anyways. And then you just have to account what happens if we're forced into a fight. And if you open the small wall, then even Garrosh trying to go for that flip is not going to be that much of a threat. I think they could have gotten a bit more. I doubt they could have gotten a keep, but I feel they could have even extended that lead a little bit further than they did. Even as it stands though, level lead, every single fort eliminated, pretty good position for Leftovers again.
Great observation, but I don't think that they're upset with what they were able to come away with Kitney and crew continue to apply pressure. Snitch has just been the eye in the sky. Like, he's living up to his name. He's been telling the rest of Dignitas everything that Leftovers is doing. It's like, guys, they're over here. They're on the boss. Go do that. Snitch in name, in action.
I mean, right now, Leftovers play again ahead. And this is the situation that Dignitas found themselves in the entire series. And it's something that they're not really too much used to. Experienced a few times, of course, against other teams like Gen G from the Korean side. But at this point, it's for them probably a little bit troubling that no matter which map they play, Leftovers are the ones who initially start to take the lead here. 3 kills against 0. Leftovers again looking towards the boss, thinking about making a play there. They know that Snitch sees it. Now they're trying to go for JPL. And Garrosh gets isolated once, trying to make the play here. Zelia again with the attempt to save him. But Garrosh is not looking too pretty. The attempted save from Medivh, and the turnaround, the arrow comes through, and they're going straight again for Gul'dan, the Leyline Seal, saving him for now. The attempt to go for Hanzo with a quick Horrify, and that's a great kill from Dignitas, but the mosh pit comes through. Time to dance and time to bounce as Gul'dan dies. 1
hero down on either side. This has turned into an outright bloodbath. Zelia starts to back away. Snitch is mounted up. JPL's going to be able to get away also. Dig is just going to, or Wubby just starts to walk away. Podib also on the chase. They're not done just yet. Zelia could be there to help the teammate out. But look at the knockback from Podib, keeping Wubby away from the portal. That isolation alone could spell the end of the dinosaur. There's the shield. Snitch doing everything that they can, but they are looking for this dinosaur, Caldor.
Wubby is about to fall here. Zelia's trying to channel at least. There comes another portal, that's too late, but at least the tribute. Is he going to get it? Zelia, close, Podibos, Blakitney, they're all moving in, and Zelia has to realize he needs to get out.
Yeah, he throws that down, he dashes away. It's like, okay, yeah, you can get that. We weren't getting a curse. We have a lot more to lose than the game there. He does escape, but that allows Leftovers to contribute, or they leave the tribute so they can go get the boss.
But there are so many fantastic plays that we just saw. The fact alone that Hanzo died because Poik was playing this so incredibly well was actually mind-blowing. It was so well done. You get isolated, there comes the stun arrow from Hanzo, everybody moves in onto Gul'dan, and then Gul'dan gets away that giant little bit thanks to Medivh, hits the Horrify on that one hero that they needed to hit to try and get some value, and are all of a sudden able to take Hanzo down and make a trade. But now it's a boss attempt here at the bot lane, and this is actually a huge problem.
This could be a very big play. He's not able to slide on there in time, but the Dragon Arrow will connect. Horrify is not going to be able to save Karazim. Stay a while and listen. Link reads off the script to Under Siege 2 Dark Territory, and a containment disc on the JPL puts him in a position long enough for the shield. Is that going to be enough? Snitch doing everything that they can, but it's not going to be. Or is it? The portal goes down, JPL almost makes it out.
The Vault of the Wardens dodging the Leyline Seal. What a great play against by Blakitney. He was just waiting for that. He knew exactly what Snitch was trying to do to save his ally. The boss, they couldn't take that, but now they're moving through their top lane. 16 versus 15, Leftovers with 7 kills against 1. Where are they going with this, though? Are they going to go for the core? Because keep in mind, there's a boss also moving through the bottom of the map.
They have a minion wave. 16 not yet here for Team Dignitas. They're going through the keep. It looks like they're going to be happy with just that. They start to back away, but Wubby hits the portal. He says, we're not done with this conversation. 7-sided strike to your face. Hanzo gets taken down.
They didn't take the tribute earlier. Leftovers. They went for the boss straight away because they wanted to go for their boss and then invade the bottom boss. So they gave up the tribute, and Snitch simply took that. That's a problem, because now we're talking about a potential curse against the Leftovers. Because they didn't take the top tribute when they won the fight, now they're getting cursed. And that is a massive problem with the keep being already this low. This is very likely to fall. Dignitas is not just simply going to give this one up.
That is a neutralizing gesture, to say the very least. Imagine if we lived in an iteration of reality where Mopsio was able to power slide a hair sooner and get on and potentially steal that boss away. We might be looking to interview him right now. But instead, Team Dignitas, they do have another way to get back into this game. They make short work of that keep. They teleport up top. They're going through the wall. They're opting not to go for the keep wall. They're just going to try to push these structures in themselves. Could be an interesting choice.
I mean, they have a tough time going for a keep wall here because it's a 5 versus 5 on even talents. And there's an invade again. There comes Mopsio. Dance time. That doesn't hit anything here. The rest of the team is still fighting. They're taking the camp. That's a spell aura active for them. Poi gets saved by JPL. What a great move again by Garrosh, but he might pay the price, and indeed he does. Him and Karazim both falling.
Leftovers never say die. They said you're worried about Jinji, worry about LE. They are somehow managing to come out ahead in instances where they have no business. JPL perfectly timed into the fray, throwing Poi to safety, still leaves Leftovers in a position where they can take 2 heroes down. They only lose the keep that they were effectively going to lose anyway out of that curse. They are in a beautiful position right now.
Still having the lead here, and that's absolutely important. The night camp capped by Leftovers was a big deal because it provided the spell aura from the night to Leftovers and not to Dignitas. That can be such a game changer in these clutch, close quarter fights. And it was perfect for Leftovers. They take another camp, and with only 3 heroes on the map, they want to get a second keep, or at least get some pressure onto it. They have a fantastic push here. That's basically a double camp that is pushing in right now. 1.5, and they're trying to make the best out of it.
They keep saying check, looking for checkmate. Team Dignitas, how do they respond? The portal goes forward. There's a huge stun from Garrosh. Wubby steps forward, ETC nowhere in sight. Power slides in, does not have the mosh pit available. There's the base melt going out. Isolation onto ETC, the bobblehead leaves him blind. And then there's the stay a while and listen, protected by the way on the stitch. He gets in that portal just in the nick of time. But the Horrify into the 7-sided strike, goodbye, go.
Down goes Urel, no chance to even pop the Ardent Defender. Another throw as Linked is being pushed back into the rest of the team. Good kill from Dignitas, and again they're starting to chase. Snitch is low though. Mopsio with a face melt, always creating the space that they really need here. 20, half a level away from Leftovers with only 3 heroes on the map. Dignitas now has a chance to put the pressure out. Don't think they can go for the core this time though, as they already set up the aggressive portals again.
They put that portal down as though they were thinking about it, but yeah, that would have been somewhat ambitious. Mosh pit is up. 25 seconds before Urel's back. Decker Kane, that def is staggered out. Let's see how they do decide to play this. Wubby's up top, making sure they catch up on this experience. They have opened themselves up quite a sizable opportunity to force out game number 5. Leftovers now find their backs against the ropes. How do they respond?
I mean, Leftovers and Dignitas are now going to play the game for 20. And then the tributes are reset. There's not going to be a huge play around any, since it's 0 tributes on each side now. It's basically going to come down to boss plays. If you are Leftovers, you need to make sure that the bottom boss isn't taken, and if you are Dignitas, you want to avoid the top boss to be taken. But both are going to be up. The top boss is already up. The bottom boss is going to appear any second. If both are exchanged again, then it comes down to who can race faster. And right now, bosses are a big deal. And there's actually a rotation down. The problem for Leftovers is they can't rotate without Dignitas knowing where they are because of Snitch.
Well, another interesting thing is, and they actually are going to go for the boss. They might be looking to decide this game sooner rather than later. We'll see what kind of rotation is going to be there. Team Dignitas, they're more than aware of all this. They're going to look to see if they can get involved. The boss potentially leashes. Leftovers just trying to, keep them honest. But that was a gutsy call if that's what they were going to do.
Bottomless Flask, if it comes to one of these boss fights, is going to be a big problem. If it's really just around the setup here, but the Link hasn't really made the choice yet. But the level 20s are there for both sides now. This is one kill can decide everything here. One engage, if Wooby finds a good engage with an isolation from the backline or the contagion, that can already be decided. Or if we're seeing, again, Snitch with the play and finding these ley lines that he's been delivering.
Here's the value out of having Dahaka in this game. Not only is he able to limit the value to be had out of the catapults for leftovers, if he does decide to go down towards the bottom portion of the map, he can force the catapults for his side to get to the core that much faster. That means leftovers, they would be in a position where they have to try to pull the trigger sooner rather than later. That global pressure is starting to get value for Team Dignitas.
It's going to be the race. They're both committing to a race. Dignitas is currently a bit faster on the boss, but that's going to change soon. They need to be careful of Medivh. There's the ley line, but he is still able to go for that. They're going to get that boss, and Dignitas is trying to race them. The thing is, look at actually what Deckard took. Deckard took respect the elderly. If he moves back and finds that, that's a 2 seconds blind after the silence. He can delay a potential push, but it's only the boss. Dignitas is actually defending. Dignitas is respecting it. They're going back and they defend. If both teams would have simply pushed with the heroes, that alone, if it lands, would have given a bit more time for leftovers to win the race.
How insane would it have been if the ley line sealed locked up leftovers long enough for Snitch to steal that boss?
No,
I was worried about that.
We've seen that in the past, and I don't think that's a mistake you make once, or that you see once, and there's no chance.
He had Medivh cheats. He could have went for the bank shot.
Yeah, but you sped out. I mean, you know that's happening. We had that actually happen. That was who made that play back then?
I was immediately worried the moment I saw that start to shape up.
No, we definitely saw that. It was 1.5 years ago, I want to say. It was crazy, and after that, I've never seen it again, at least not in Europe.
Right now, we see leftovers in an interesting position. They cannot afford to just keep giving these tributes up. The next one is going to be a curse. Almost 20 minutes into the game. While they do have serviceable wave clear, the next team fight could be lights out. Either way, Team Dignitas, if they lose a hero or two, it wouldn't be that hard of a challenge for leftovers to make that walk over to the left side of the map. The next team fight could decide this game.
It's funny to me that both decided with the boss to just simply remove the boss as an objective from the map, no one pushing with it, so they both chickened out.
Gentleman's agreement.
Totally, yeah, gentleman's agreement, just removing the boss, saying, okay, that's not going to be the factor here. But now it comes down to another tribute, since it could be Curse. Dignitas is looking for the engage. Poik already waiting for the Horrify, and he's sneaking around. The portal is behind him. Here's the Horrify into the backline, and they go immediately for Hanzo. Deleted. Not even a chance. And this is horrible for leftovers. The ley line comes through, and this is the moment Dignitas wants to end it all.
This could be the end of the game for it, and the power slide goes out. Mosh Pit already used a lot of damage going in. Arn Defender, Pokeball starts to back away. Deckard Kane, respect the elderly, not so much. Mopsio going to use the Bolt of the Storm to try to escape, but we're getting stakes for dinner. The core on Team Dignitas down to 80%, rapidly falling. Healthy shield on the side of leftovers, so even though there are 3 heroes down, this could be a very interesting finish.
Maiev is trying to go in. Maiev is moving in, but the curse is there, and the catapults are going down. Maiev wants to make the play. The Kidney doesn't have the hit points right now. Aggro's too early. The defense is also there. 50% on the core. There was a chance for leftovers to maybe win the game here. Playing it a bit differently, but as it stands, we're seeing the right side of the map being assailed. Hanzo's going to be back in 6 seconds, but it's very unlikely that they are going to be able to make that defense work. Or are they?
He's got Dragon Arrow available. If he blows up Poik,
they're low.
66%, rapidly falling. This might not be done. 40% catapults have made their way here. Yeah, that is going to be it. Somehow, Team Dignitas, he threw a Horrify on the core, and we're going to game number 5, Caldor.
But what a beautiful engage that we had in that last fight. That was so incredibly well done. We have both of them sitting here, and you see Gul'dan sneaking around at the bottom, just waiting here, outside of vision the entire time. And then the second they say, okay, this is the moment for engage, the portal comes out into the bush, allowing Gul'dan that if he doesn't get the engage perfectly, if he gets caught, or even if he just wants to move around, to use the portal to escape. And he goes in, hits both backliners, and pushes the backliners into the team. They all jump on Hanzo. They exploit his low hit point pool, take him down immediately. Gul'dan moves through the portal back, finds himself safe behind his own tanks. That was such a fantastic coordinated engage into the fight. And it won them the battle. It won them the battle, it won them the map, and that was all down to that communication between the team, Poik in particular, and Snitch, setting that portal up, allowing Gul'dan to circle around. I mean, it's a flanking Gul'dan because you have a portal available.